Good morning. Om Shanti.
Good
Are
morning.
we all ready?
Om Shanti. Yes, good morning.
Om Shanti. Good morning.
Great. So today we bring to you another session on Parenting 2.0. And this is being organized by the Brahma Kumaris of the RTP area. And our request, Brother Shwetang and Sister Kanishta, to tell us a little bit more about the Brahma Kumaris.
Om Shanti. Good morning and a warm welcome to everyone. Yeah, Brahma Kumaris is an organization that many of you are probably aware of at this time. I guess people have watched the videos that are available on YouTube and maybe even the Awakening with Brahma Kumaris quite a bit. And so basically, Brahma Kumaris is a spiritual organization that allows people from all walks of life to experience inner peace, inner harmony, equanimity, stability, inner strength through the practice of a very simple form of meditation called as Raj Yoga Meditation. I remember 22 years back when I was introduced to this organization, what truly impressed me was the authenticity with which the Brahma Kumaris was presenting the truth, the highest truth of the universe, the clear understanding of the self, clear understanding of how life needs to roll. And also, one of the most important things that impressed me at that time was that Brahma Kumaris never solicit any funds. All programs of Brahma Kumaris across the world are delivered, are organized without any request for money. There are no fees to it. And so then I continued on, and so that's what I see Brahma Kumaris as, trying to bring the entire world together onto a brand new platform of spirituality where we can all deliver the best ever to the world, to our families, and at the same time to ourselves.
Yeah, and also, there is this aim that there is goodness in each one of us. But the thing is that we all have forgotten. So the awareness that it brings, this organization, it brings this awareness to connect with our inner goodness so that we ourselves, when we are connected to our goodness, then we can see goodness in others as well. So that is so beautiful. That really impressed me that, I'm already full, I'm already complete, I'm already enough. It's just that I have forgotten my original self. So Brahma Kumari's, main aim is to cultivate this awareness in each one of us that we all are already complete. We just have to remember who we are.
And just for those people who are just joining, maybe from the RTP area, we wanted to let you all know that we have just moved into RTP area, that's in Durham. And so you're welcome to come physically to visit this space, to soak yourself in these new set of vibrations of peace and inner strength that you can get as soon as you come here. So you're most welcome. If you don't feel like coming at the time of the pandemic now, still that's ongoing, you're welcome to connect through Zoom too. All right, so with that, back to you.
Thank you, Brother Shwetang, Sister Kanishta. I'm sure everybody is now really interested in knowing what lies ahead. Now, I think we'll all agree that parenting can be very challenging, very exhausting, with the never-ending demands and complaints from our children. And, finding the right balance between being overly harsh and mollycoddling your child, it's like I'm a parent myself. So it's like, walking a tightrope. And the purpose of this session is to help you navigate parenting from a spiritual perspective, so that it becomes a cakewalk. I'm sure by now you're eager to learn what lies ahead. So here is a quick overview of the session. We'll start it with a video. This will be followed by an interactive session with a panel of parents who have been practicing Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga Meditation for a while. You will understand how this has helped them to evolve as better parents. After this, I'll be inviting our instructors, Sister Kanishta and Brother Shwetang, who have been Raj Yoga meditation practitioners as taught by the Brahma Kumaris for the past 22 years. Brother Shwetang is a practicing cardiac anesthesiologist. Sister Kanishta is a former pediatrician. She has completed a PhD in mind-body medicine, and she has dedicated herself to serving the community exclusively. I also request all of you to stay on with us, as we will also experience a live meditation session in the end. Another thing, you'll be muted during the session, so please post your questions in our chat box. Now, without any further ado, let us begin with our session.
Yes, so I will
Brother?
share the video. This
Yes,
video,
yes, please.
yeah. And so this video is of Dr. Jordan Peterson, a very famous psychologist. And I'm not sure if he's a psychiatrist as well, but he's an author, he's a Canadian, and quite outspoken in his views. And he's talking about parenting. So let's watch this together, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. Back to you, Sister Palvi.
Thank you. I now invite a panel of parents for a discussion. Mrs. Shah from Pennsylvania, she's an IT professional, and she's been practicing Raj Yoga since 3 years. Mr. and Mrs. Karani from Michigan, both IT professionals again, they have been practicing Raj Yoga since 8 years. And we also have with us Mrs. Goyal from Pennsylvania, who's been practicing Raj Yoga since the last 3 years. A very warm welcome to you, dear parents.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
My question is, all of you have been practicing Raj Yoga over a period of time. So what insights have you gained as a result of that has helped you in situations when you had faced this dilemma of caring versus pampering? And how were you able to handle the situation? Mrs. Shah, would you like to share? Yes.
Sure. This topic, as you say, parenting is not easy. And where you draw the line is very hard to answer. But as for me, as far as I know, what I have experienced before I was practicing Raj Yoga meditation, that I was a parent which was not pampering. I thought I was not pampering my kids. I have 2 boys. And I was thinking that I was a parent that, not pampering them, not letting them give everything they were asking for. I was not pampering them by making different dishes because I have a picky eaters. I would make a one meal and, this is it. You eat if you're hungry or you stay, this is what you get to eat. So I thought I was not pampering. But because we were all living busy life and we thought we don't have time and we are running, we don't have time to introspect your actions. You don't realize that there's different forms of pampering. And I realized that how I was pampering my kids is not letting them fail, not letting them try things. I would teach them things and I would teach them a few times, but after sometimes when I am tired of repeating myself, I don't want to hear myself repeat, don't want to see my get irritated. I would just do things for them. I would just do it and get things done. And I didn't realize it was, it's not helping them. It was actually, I was kind of, hurting them. And it's a form of pampering. So after practicing Raj Yoga meditation, what I have learned is, you take time for yourself. Before I was thinking that I'm so busy. Taking time for myself is selfish. How can I take time for myself? But Raj Yoga meditation taught me that, you need to take that time for yourself. You have to introspect your actions and how you think. So taking that time for myself, that made me realize so many things that I was doing. It was not the right way of doing, because I was thinking that this is how I was brought up, and this is how my older one, it worked with my older one. How would it not work with my other child? And I didn't realize they are different. You cannot just impose one same thing to every person and expect the same results. Because when we were a child, and when you are a child, you see that my parents are doing this and I don't like it, and you will like, I will never do that. But unknowingly, sometimes you behave the same way, because that's what you have learned and that's what you have seen. So even though you don't want to, you become one of them. And I'm not saying I had a great parent, but sometimes things that you have seen, they said, I would never repeat that, but you actually do that. So Raj Yoga meditation taught me to be patient and see them as an individual person, an individual soul, that they are different. And I cannot, do the same thing with both of them. I have to try different things, being patient, even though I'm saying it the same thing 100th time. How I say the message is very important. Before I used to think, I'm saying the right thing, it doesn't matter how I say it, I'm saying the right thing. But I realized that how you say it makes all the difference. So in a way, Raj Yoga meditation helped me to realize where I was pampering my kids and how and where I can change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Shah. Anybody else would like to answer this question?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti to everyone. First of all, let me introduce again myself, Girish and Swati. And we have a 11-year-old daughter. She's in 6th grade. So the question related to this pampering and caring, yeah, this is really a deep topic, but before coming to Raja Yoga meditation, we were not able to understand the difference between pampering and caring. So we thought, okay, what we are doing could be the love, or the affection or caring. But after learning, the Raj Yoga meditation, and then the principles, the values, we were able to, to draw the line between the two. And for example, we used to maybe saying how to say no to some of the things, because we used to give her love and care and privileges, sometime, and that becomes too much pampering. But here now we learned, you need to balance love and love, and that helped us to put in practical life. And we were able to give her or say no when it is really not needed, and say yes when it is needed. And sometimes we go and praise them too much, and that becomes difficult, because they'll never want to hear no. Saying no from us, it's not accepted. They want to hear yes. So all these things we learned. And then also something like, when we are busy, we'll give them a toys and luxuries and privileges. So what will happen with that? In the pampering, I'm saying about pampering, so they never, whenever they face a tough situation, because they're living in the luxury life, they don't know how to face a tough situation. So in the Raj Yoga meditation, we know them, if it is really needed, ask the questions to them, and then give them a time to analyze whether it is really going to help them to grow their skills or their future life. All those things we teach them. And definitely Raja Yoga meditation helped us a lot to incorporate all these principles and values.
And I would like to add something here. What difference I saw is like when I say that I pamper my child, I was spending excessively on her fun activities, gadgets, and branded clothes and birthday parties. But now that I say, because I say that I care my child, because I learned this practice from Raj Yoga, that I can now spend proportionately on her talents, on her skills, on her art, or maybe on some sport where she can grow physically. I can see her growing physically, and that was one difference I saw when I was comparing between the pampering and caring. And another thing, when I was a child, I was raised in a joint family, and I was kind of a pampered child. I was always surrounded by elders, a lot of affection, a lot of love all the time. They never gave me a big responsibility to handle. And I realize that now that that's their love. And I had a good time in my childhood. But when I'm independent now, I'm a responsible person, I lack. So when I see that difference, I feel that I have to give that care. At the same time, I have to teach her to grow in both the situation where she is feeling loved, and at the same time, she's really independent and she know how to handle the responsibilities. So these two differences I could find from these practices.
Om Shanti, I would like to share my experience as well.
I think, one second. Are you not able to unmute yourself? Palvi?
I can. Now I can. Thank you. We'll take up comments and questions a little later during the session. Is that okay?
Yeah, please hold on to your questions. Please hold on to your comments. We love to hear from you. I'm sure each comment is as precious as it can possibly ever be. And so please stay tuned. We want to hear from you all too. But let's go forward for a little bit.
Yes. Thank you. Mrs. Goyal, please go ahead.
Om Shanti, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and my thoughts on this. I recently started practicing Raj Yoga Meditation, as you said in the introduction. I have two daughters who are grown up now. I don't remember a major experience on pampering, maybe because I think that was caring. And, as we know, there's this fine line between that. But looking back, I'm realizing that there were multiple occasions which I would have handled differently if I had started this practice back then. Since I started, this practice, I've been self-reflecting a lot. What I understood that we do pampering because we have some sort of attachment. We pamper our own child, not a neighbor's child, correct? And that is an attachment. And in Brahma Kumaris, I learned that attachment leads to expectation, and which causes pain and suffering and worries. The other reason I think we do pampering because it satisfies our own ego somehow. We feel that, oh, I'm a good parent. I'm, doing good for my child. Or we are more overprotective. So there are a few reasons which I found that we do our, pampering. I can recall a recent experience with my daughter. So during COVID, she came, she's working in Virginia, and during COVID, she came back home and she was staying home, and I was working from home as well. So sometimes she would say, Mom, can you make this for dinner? And we generally eat dinner right after our work early. So I would say, so I said one time, yes, I can make it. Would you help me? And she said, yeah, sure. And she did. So I saw, if I had not been doing this practice, if she had asked me to make this particular dish today, I would have just gone and make it. But when I did this, next time she started offering her help herself. So I think this with the small change, if you look at it, I'm taking care of my child. I mean, I'm helping my child to take care of the responsibilities, and she's learning to help. I'm still caring, but I'm not pampering. I'm still caring because I'm making the dish she wants to eat, but she's helping me. So I'm not just, pampering her in the wrong or caring her in the wrong way. So with this is just a small example. Being in this practice every day, I'm learning something new, which is helping me and my family. There's so many more to share, but I guess we have some time constraints. So I'll end, here, but thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Goyal. Thank you, dear parents, for sharing your experiences, mistakes, and also realizations along the way. I'm sure our audience has learned something from it. While you parents were talking about your realizations, I also have something to share. Raj Yoga has made me realize, all of us here who have been practicing Raj Yoga, that I could have handled things in a better way, than what I did. Of course, I have been guilty of pampering my child so many times, like when I would set up to complete his projects, when I knew he could have done it on his own, or to not make him independent in many ways. That is, I realize, it has happened due to my own fears, my own attachment. Of course, he has grown up now, but I don't think all is lost. Raj Yoga now has empowered me to use all these skills, that I have learned along the way, to be a role model first. So now, now I would say, there is, less of a tussle in my interactions with him. He has become more receptive to what I have to say. So earlier it would be like a straight no. It would be taken in the you are not doing enough kind. That would be the kind of space that it would come from. You are not doing enough. But now it's like he comes forward himself on so many occasions. Okay, let me do it this way. Let us do it this way. So, of course, Raj Yoga has, brought this change in the dynamics of our relationship over the years. It's not been like, it is like a quick fix solution. And I have not even realized, but there are, like Mrs. Goyal said, there's so many things that happen, small things. And then when I reflect on them at the end of the day, I realize, oh, there is this change. He a couple of years back, he would have responded in that way, and now there is this change. Voila, So yes, that has been our journey so far, and I hope we continue to make more mistakes so that we can learn more. Thank you. So, dear parents, do you have anything more to share? Would anybody like to say something?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll go over to,
Yeah, I can go on sharing, but I'll try to squeeze a little bit. Yeah. So one of the big change I've seen in my daughter is about the food, the respect, what she gives, the gratitude. There are so many classes has been conducted by Kanishtaben and Shwetang on every Saturday. And each topic, if I take a topic of the courage and the gratitude and the procrastination, so those are the things we need in the kids, because we as a parent, we always go on the different things. Okay, what about your food? And we'll give them whatever they need. But these principles and values, deep learning is really required in this age, because what we think, we always underestimate our kids, saying that, oh, she is too young. So maybe we need another 2-3 years, then they'll understand. But no. So for example, if I take about the food, she used to eat the food, but without knowing, without giving the gratitude, without uh, saying thank you to the people who made that, food, and how it is grew, so many things. So now, earlier she used to just sit and watch the TV without knowing what is in her plate, just eating. Even give her more food, she used to eat. But now she sits in the dining table and then gives a gratitude, says thank you. And I never seen her wasting even one grain in the plate. So that's really amazing. And one time I still remember, when we prepare a food, we offer to the god, and then she takes to the school. So something happened, and her kitchen box, I think, fell down, and she came back crying. We thought maybe the kitchen, that box got broken or something. That's what she cried. When we asked her, she said, no, it's not the reason, because the food which was showed to the god fell down, and that's the reason, because it's a waste. I wasted the food. So that's really a touching. And also I see her using the resources, because even if you take the water and the paper, uh, plastic, we tell them don't waste. But understanding the reason behind and how you can become a noble and become a good example, um, she got in the during the Raj Yoga courses and the classes, and she's adopting that. So, and again, last point is, we have to also become a role model for them. When we parent, we start adopting those. First, we need to change. We change because of our Raj Yoga meditation courses and all the learnings, and then we started adopting in our life, and the kids will see us, then say, oh, okay, let me also do this. So this is really helping us, and yeah, that's what I want to share.
Thank you, Mr. Karani. Thank you, dear parents, for your insight. Shall we move on, Brother Shwetank?
No, actually, I'm enjoying this conversation so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Good.
lovely to hear your experiences from each one of you.
Right. And so, I think we can also take this a little forward. Maybe they all can share what I was thinking earlier, that they have already talked about what changes they have seen so far with the practice. But also, there could be some changes that they haven't been able to implement so far. And they are now inspired to, in the coming days, weeks, months, or years, what you all are inspired to do, to implement, to which you feel that would make you even a better parent than what you are right now. Yeah, go ahead, any one of you, one by one, you all can share if you want to.
So I can add something on this one. I feel like when we pampering our child, we're making them more dependent on us. Of course, now I'm realizing it. Now my kids are grown up, and I'm trying to, make some changes. I had a habit of saying difficulty to say no to my child, which most parents might have it. And I remember when she was young, my daughter from high school, instead of taking bus, sometimes she would say, "Can you pick me up from school?" And her school ends 4:00. And I would, to just make that happen, I would try to rush from my work, go to her school, pick her up. I would get agitated if I get traffic, all those things. So I'm doing things which I'm doing for her because she's asking me to do out of whatever love or whatever. But at the same time, now I'm realizing my energy was not right. I was agitated, I was angry sometime or frustrated. So I'm thinking and looking back, was that a right energy? Was that a right feeling? I would have said no instead of that no, I cannot come today because of my work or whatever, and have my good feeling and good wishes for her. which I'm learning now. But at that time, I was just more busy in doing than caring, I think, which we think we are pampering. But so that's what I'm just realizing now. Now, if I get a chance and if they're asking me to do something, I am trying to say no more often if I'm busy. And there was one example of this morning for breakfast. There was a question, and I immediately said, I'm busy today, this from this time to this time, so I won't be able to help you out. So yeah, I can see a lot of changing in myself, but it's still a practice. I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect, but I'm learning and practicing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Goyal. Mrs. Shah, Mrs. Karani, would you like to say something on this?
Yeah,
Sure, I can say something. Go ahead, Mrs. Karani.
thank you, Mrs. Shah. Yeah, so what I'm learning and realizing is I'm still thinking that my daughter is small, like young, and I still have to wait for another year to introduce her some tough things. But because I'm learning in classes, I'm realizing that I should give her a taste of adult life from now on. For example, I want to let her know that if she don't work hard right now, like at this time, even if she has all the facilities that she need, more than what she need, if she don't work hard right now, she don't bring good grades, she will end up with doing some small scale jobs, and she won't be able to help herself as well as others. And I also want to introduce her that what are the what main earnings are important for life. Like that's what my parent taught me, and I just want to pass it to her that 3 earnings are very important in life. One is money, of course. The second one is blessings, and the third one is respect. And if we do all the things, put all the things properly, learn from the young age, I'm sure they will be better citizens or beings when they grow up. So they won't have, they get that parenting from now. I'm sure she will grow a very good child, as a very good child, and she will be a responsible person. So that's what I'm realizing, learning, still learning, and I want to explore more with her.
Yeah, just to add here, yeah, this journey is, I know it is not, there is no end for this. We have a journey and it's a long journey to go. But what I'm going to implement, or maybe what we are going to introduce her is, don't run behind the success, or don't run behind the money. If you are doing any work or any service, be happy and contented. The moment you be happy and contented, money will follow you, or success will follow you. So that we are teaching her, and we are trying to now we'll continue to introduce. And that's one of the things which I have a goal. And also with the meditation, Raj Yoga Meditation, we learned that you need to take care of self, first self-care, meaning, for example, if she goes and compare with others, and, other grades with the others, and then there is a never ending, So what I'm trying to introduce her is, first have a self-control. Don't give your remote control in other hands, right? The moment, because they'll start running your life. So I'm always telling her, always give best to you and compare with yourself. Instead of comparing with others, you give 110%. Even if she fails, I'll tell her, first question I'll ask her, did you try, or did you give 100%? If she says yes, I'm fine with that. But I'll not say that, oh, okay, I need to go with other person's grades or anything. So those are the new things we are trying to implement, and Raj Yoga Meditation is really helping us, because the first is self-care, and have a self-control, and then you can start looking other areas.
To answer that, like what I need to work on is, I feel like I need to still work on being patient. letting them do things even though they fail 10th time, letting them still try, not giving up on them, and let them do it. I don't let them come in the kitchen because I feel like they'll make more work for me. But that's what I have to work on. Instead of worrying about me, I have to let them grow, let them try things, and being patient. So that's what I feel like I need to work on. And the Raj Yoga, as we are saying, is a practice. It's a journey. It's not like a magic overnight. You see, things happen. But it's a beautiful journey because every step you turn, you see new realization. You see new things happening. And I have to learn to enjoy every single moment, not run, and slow down. So that's what I have to work on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Shah. I can also add something while everybody was saying. One thought that has come to my mind that I would like to implement this year, if my son allows me to. This year it's going to be his 18th birthday. Now, 18th birthday is like a grand milestone in a child's life. And I have this deep desire to celebrate it in a different way this year. I do not want to spend any money on a party or buying him a gift. Instead, I want to raise this, use this opportunity to raise funds for a good cause and to be able to serve someone in need. It may be a drop in the ocean, but with millions homeless and suffering in need of medical aid, basic necessities of life, I feel at least we would have made a beginning somewhere, and more importantly, I want him to realize that it cannot be about him every time. My birthday, my gift, me, my things, my happiness, you know, uh, um, and I want him to experience that joy of giving and to collect blessings. So that would be my birthday gift for him. I'm sure I have not discussed it with him so far. So I'm sure there is going to be an initial, what? What are you saying? But I hope coming from that space of that soul conscious state, I would be able to convince him. And he will not grudgingly, but happily, willingly do it. So
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome, Sister Pallavi. But I was just wanting to ask a follow-up question on what you said. What if he doesn't allow you to do it?
Then I'll again try to patiently explain it to him. And maybe then I've thought of that. And then maybe do it as an example for my birthday, which will follow. And then maybe again try it the next year. But I'll not give up.
That's a lovely answer. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Right, and
It shows, how positive you have become through the practice of Raja Yoga. Because Raja Yoga, that's what teaches us, to accept the challenges and be positive and to be solution oriented. So you have many options, not problem oriented, but solution oriented. Yeah,
that's fantastic. But we still have time. I think it's not a bad idea to ask you all more questions. Why not hear from you all a little more?
Yeah. And especially the kids that, some of you, I think all of you maybe, your kids are joining this, every Saturday. So I was thinking that, as when you communicate with your kids, how do you think that they have become more receptive to your suggestions or to your, opinions, whatever you tell them to do, how they are taking it without rejecting?
I think that was brought up a little bit by one, I don't remember who said that they have become a little, I think Sister Pallavi was saying that, right? That he has become more receptive, and earlier it would be a total no. And
right.
Do you feel that? Do all of you feel a little bit of shift there as well?
Om Shanti. So I would like to add that, sure, definitely. I have a teenage boy and a 10-year-old. They are both different. And what I have learned through the practice of Raj Yoga is being more soul conscious. So when not judging them, not what their actions, not judging them. If I judge them and go and say something to them, of course they're going to block it. It's just going over their head, and it's not going to be accepted. But if the values we are teaching them in the classes, I see that they might not, my teenage boy is not going to come and say, Mom, that was such a beautiful topic. But I know it's going in him, it's going in his head, and it's going to stay there because the way we are teaching them. And, uh, and I see that, it's going to work the way when he needs it, it's going to come out. And I see like now, if I go talk to them about something, which is, we talked about in the classes, I see that, they talk about it in a way that I really want them to see the changes happening in them. And which is truly so, is like something you try and it works. You see that, happiness that is working. And it's truly to see them that it's working is truly a gift. So, yeah, thank you.
Others are welcome to chip in too.
Yeah, I would like to go. I want to share an experience here. She learned one topic in a session that who moved my cheese, how we have to cope up with the change that is happening around you. So for that, I want to share one experience that happened recently. 2 weeks ago, I got sick with COVID, and all of a sudden everything changed. Like I had to isolate myself for 15 days in one room, and it was hard for the family to cope up. That's what I was thinking. It will be a hard time for everyone, but because she was prepared with that, at least she was having that things in her mind that change will come anytime, and she has to cope up. And she learned that with four characters, different characters. It was so fresh in her mind, and she cope up like I wasn't expected from her to work independently. And 15 days is not a small days, a small time to cope up. But she did really good job by showing her cooperation. She is developing many new habits from the classes, that she has to make things ready. She has to do to-do list, and one day prior she has to keep her school backpack ready and everything. That's how the small things she learned from those classes. It helped her to cope up with the situation, and it was really a very easy, effortless situation for all of us as a family to handle. So yeah, this is a very small thing, but I'm really so proud of her for taking care of herself independently first time.
Anyone else?
I have something to add. So I just, found, I just thought about something that, this classes has opened their mind so much, that you have never thought about. That, for example, the topic we were talking about, forgiving. And for my teenage, it was a little challenging. He would not come up and say it openly. And I'm sure we would have never thought about talking like topics like this before. And I would never have found out that what he had in his mind. But I could see that he was hesitant about something, doing his homework. And I asked him, and he would not open up. And I had to tell him, if you don't tell me what's going on, I would do this. And he did. Then resistantly he opened and he said, why we have to forgive? Why? And we did talk about, so I gave him the example why. It's not for the other benefits, it's benefit for yourself. And if you don't, what happens? So it was hard for him to understand, but he did. because the way we teach them, we show them videos, we show them examples. So it's a little easy for them to comprehend and understand. Even though, see, without these classes, I would have never thought that, it could be a block for him. And it was, topic opens up and we could talk about it. So stuff like that, the kids are learning, which we could have never had taught them otherwise.
Children are far more capable of, we underestimate them out of our own fears, insecurities, attachment, ego. I think children are far more capable, resilient, understanding than we have ever thought them to be.
Yes. So yeah, that's what I was about to say. We always underestimate, and then we think that it's too early to introduce, But we learned that even though we introduced maybe when she was 5 years old, most of the principles and values we started adopting, and we are trying to give all the message to her in a different way in her age, based on her age. So she quickly picked up, and she's trying to apply. Again, I'm not saying that it's never too late to introduce. The early age you introduce, it'll be you'll hear less no from them. You'll see at least a 50% kind of no. But yeah, my experience is, yes, we early age we introduce, it will be good, because then we work as a team, and we work even for the cooking. One time when I was sitting and I was working, and she was at the kitchen, and she wanted to cook the cake or something. She wanted to prepare herself. I said, no, wait, I'll come. You don't know how to operate all the kitchen, this and that. I was kind of late. Literally, she finished it. I mean, she made it. And then I realized, the more, they are very, talented. It's we are the parents always, maybe you can say pampering or caring. We lose our, confidence in them, and then we'll make them down sometimes. So what I'm saying is, give them opportunity and give them a right direction, so they'll be able to manage and cope up, and then work as a team. That will help them.
Thank you, parents. Sister Kanishta, Brother Shvetang, shall I move on to you? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, we can, unless I thought for a moment I saw Sister Suman wanting to say something, and so I want to honor her participation.
Yes, please.
Just a quick thing I want to add, that my girls are grown up and they're not doing these classes. But I feel like since I've been, doing all this practice with Brahma Kumari, it's bringing a change in them as well. As I said earlier, what I'm learning here is not just helping me, it is helping my family as well. I see that our communication has gone better. And then I also see more gratitude in them. Like, if I do something, I see that they're more thankful to me. So I see somehow what I am learning and practicing here is helping my family. That's all I just wanted to add. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Lashonda wanted to say something. She had raised her hand. I see that she has typed in the chat box. I can actually allow to unmute you or allow you to speak. I think you should be able to speak now, Lashonda, if you want to. Or if you want, I can just read what you have typed here. I don't know if you're still there. So I can just read it for her to honor her. Honor her participation here. So through the practice of Raj Yoga, she has been doing this for 2-3 years as well. And so through the practice of Raj Yoga, she says, I have learned. You want to say it? Or you want me to say it?
Yeah, she can unmute.
You should be able to unmute yourself. No? Yeah.
Okay. Shanti. So I was saying, through the practice of Raj Yoga, I have learned to accept my daughter as a soul and accept her decisions, because I was seeing myself enabling her by wanting to make the decision for her and want to do everything for her and not allowing her to be who she is. So through Raj Yoga, I learned that I was attached to her and I had to detach myself from her because it was bringing all these negative emotions that I did not desire to feel. So once I learned to detach myself and allow her to be who she is, it was a great feeling. I began to experience peace and happiness for myself and allow myself to see growth in my daughter by doing it. So practicing the Raj Yoga has been a great journey and it's helping our relationship still today. But as she get older, I'm faced with new challenges with her because she's a young adult and she have her own child now. So now she have challenges too. And now she needs me even more. So I feel like I go back to where I was with her sometime. And I just ask myself, what do I do at times when I'm faced with new obstacles now? So I came to this class today hoping to find answers. And so far, so good. So thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations, all of you, for taking the courage to share how things have transpired in your life, how you are dealing with the challenges that come up in every household between parents and children. So, yeah, I applaud each one of you. And I don't want to create noise, but from my heart, I give it up to all of you. All right, let's do that in our hearts. Don't have to make noise, but yeah, applaud each one of them for their beautiful contributions. Yeah, their sharings and all the effort they are making to bring about harmony in their house, to raise very responsible, very beautiful children who will be the future of this country and future of this entire world. So awesome. Keep up the good work. And I think now we can move forward. Yeah.
So
Can
coming back to you.
can I add
Yes,
just one last thing in short?
Please. Yes, please.
Because in Brahma Kumaris, they allow us to, that is a family path, best part. That is the best part too. We don't have to leave anything, our houses, our careers, our jobs, or anything, and go somewhere and sit and do some different things. But here they allow us to follow the family path. That is the best part, which makes everyone in the family as an individual person, and everyone grows beautifully that way. So that's the best part.
Yes, Mrs. Karani, yes, I agree with you completely. So you grow as a unit, as a family. You, all of us, each member of the family grows together. It's a journey for everyone. Yes, thank you. So coming back to you, Sister Kanishta, Brother Shwetang. You have never parented a child, but since you have been with the Brahma Kumaris for many years, and you have taken a lot of time to really dive deep into the understanding of the dynamics of life in general, if I may say. So, what insights do you have for all of us regarding this topic?
Yeah.
You'd all like to know.
So it's really beautiful, since we started this journey together, we always had this vision to serve the world. So we had, this vision of a beautiful world where every being is happy, every being is peaceful, and every being is really contented. So with that vision, we thought that the only way we can bring this to the world is by serving. And related to parenting, so parenting means to serve, to nurture with love. The true parenting means you're nurturing. It's not necessarily any child, but nurturing anything with love is true parenting. You know,
Yeah,
if
you
you
can parent a plant.
you can parent a plant with love.
Mhm.
Yeah, with love and care, and that is a parenting in itself. You can parent an animal, you can parent a bird, you can
Or you can
parent
parent yourself.
yourself. So in meditation, in Raj Yoga meditation, we learn how to parent our inner child. There is inner child in each one of us, but we are not aware of that inner child. We don't, some of you like shared that it's so important to give time to the children for their growth, for their development. So similarly, for this inner child that is there in each one of us, we have to take out some time to spend with that inner child so that, that inner child can grow and really not demand, because it kind of demands so many things from inside. You feel that, that inner voice, that inner child is asking something, eat this, eat that, or see this, or hear this. All those things, they continue to happen inside. But you have to have the ability to quieten down that noise, that sound, in a very gentle and very caring and very loving way. You cannot just tell that voice, that sound, to shut up, because if you do it that way, then it will, just like children, if they come to their parents and they ask for something, and if parents, they just bluntly say that no, you won't get it. So children, they will become more rebellious. They will not take it in a good way, and they will become more stubborn and more rebellious. So the best way to deal with that kind of situation is by convincing the child in a nice way, explaining them the importance that why you are not getting what you want. Because there is a difference between wanting, our wants, and our needs. Child feels that yes, this is what I want at this moment, but that is actually not right.
That
Child
is
is
not
not
the
able,
need.
that is not the need, because child is not able to, at that moment, child is not mature enough to understand that this is really what is the need. Child is maybe wanting that thing because of the peer pressure or whatever. But
So similarly, what you're trying to say is that the inner child also many
yeah,
times has lots of wants, but not necessarily understanding the needs. And we too, that inner child also gets very influenced by peer pressure. So
exactly.
somehow we have to slowly love that child and with compassion explain to the child, hey, that's not what is right now.
Exactly. Because there is a long queue of desires, There is one desire will give rise to another, and the next, and the next. So we have to have the ability to really talk to ourselves, talk to that inner child in such a way that the inner child is able to understand and then respond and then understand, and then really don't again and again, that voice, if it keeps coming from inside, then we will be very disturbed. And this is the reason of stress in today's world. Why there is so much stress? Because that voice is kind of, continuously, that voice is asking and asking and asking. But here we understand that, there is a limit to it. We cannot just keep keep fulfilling all the demands, of that child, the inner child. We have to stop at some point and understand.
So in other words, we can't pamper that inner child.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I felt too. So many times I would, my inner child would say, you know what, let's keep sleeping. This comforter is so good, it's so cold out there. Or maybe, those wonderful chocolate, that you need to eat 2 more of those. Or, outside, if you go to walk, it's too cold. I would rather sit inside and enjoy, I don't know, sitting on the couch and drinking coffee. But that inner child has to be first explained with love. But there is also a need for discipline. So that's why I can relate to what parents go through, because I have seen it with myself that if I don't bring about the right kind of discipline with my inner child, then I will not be able to bring about the discipline externally with the world that I interact with. So parents too, I feel, have to understand that's what I feel Raj Yoga, really teaches us, that you become your own good parent first.
Yeah.
Then your children will also begin to respect you as a parent. In other words, you can become a good parent for them. If I don't listen to myself, in a way, you understand, I'm my own parent and I'm my own child. Yeah, so which one wins? Or is there a fight? Does not need to be a fight, right? So if there's constant fight, constant battle within myself between the parent, the child, and one day the child is up and, all right, I'm going to have 5 candy. One day the parent is up, no, I'm going to beat you up, you're not good enough. Is that what's happening? Then if I have a child, that's what's going to happen. One day it's going to be win, one day it's going to be lose.
Yeah,
So
because the main question, the biggest question, the most common question that people have, that is that my child is not listening to me. Whatever I say, child does not listen to me. So this is a very good thing to check, whether am I listening to that inner child,
okay,
and
am I
that
listening to, as a child, am I listening to me as a parent?
me as a parent. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you said,
Yeah.
parent and child
So
relationship.
am I listening to myself, in other words?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I rebel with myself all the time? If I'm doing that, if I am allowing myself to go the wrong ways all the time, my children are going to do the same thing.
Yeah, because children, they mirror their parents, whatever parents do, children do the same thing.
And we have learned now that whatever is happening in our inner world is what gets reflected out into the external world of ours. So if there is chaos in here, there is constant fight, constant battle, then that's what I'm going to see in my house, that's what I'm going to see in the society, and then the world will always be a bigger manifestation of this smaller world that I'm creating around me. So I have to be careful of what I'm doing within myself. And I think, and the self parenting that you were talking about in the beginning, I like that aspect too, that any idea that I create, any thought that I create, that too is like parenting that thought. So parents create a child, right? They bring a child forth into the world. When we think a thought, when we create an idea, when we create a vision, you were talking about vision in the beginning, vision to serve the world. Now, it's almost like we have given birth to that thought, that feeling, that idea. Now, how am I parenting it? Am I pampering it? Am I disciplining it? Am I giving it the right energy? Yeah, how am I sustaining it for it to grow in all the beautiful ways? And eventually, not necessarily that you want it to serve you, but eventually, if you do all the right things, if you parent it right, then it will come back to serve us.
And also in meditation, we learn how to create only those thoughts that are necessary. So we create only few thoughts. So if there are few thoughts, then we don't have to spend a lot of time in, because
So
see, just
birth
like
control of thoughts.
yeah, there is birth control of thoughts. Just like, if there are many children, then it becomes difficult for parents to give individual attention to each child. If there is only one child, yes, of course, there is more pampering, but at least, parents can give attention to that particular child, one child or two children, whatever. Similarly, inside also, if we create only one thought or few thoughts, then we have more time. We can give more time to each thought. Yeah. So that is what we learn in Raj Yoga meditation practice, how to create only those thoughts that are needed at particular moment. And this is how we can really create a very calm and composed atmosphere inside us. So it's like a nice environment gets created inside. And if the environment is good, just like if the environment is right in any family, then children, they grow and they develop and they mature beautifully. Similarly, if we create a nice environment inside with few thoughts and right quality of thoughts, right quality of feelings, then we create a healthy family inside. So our mind is healthy, body is healthy, and we are healthy. So we then, in that case, we create a very healthy society, healthy world, healthy community.
Right. Yes, Sister Pallavi.
Can I add something to what you said, Mr. Shravank? And
Of course.
so I like the point when you said, if we have a turbulence inside between myself, there'll be turbulence outside as well. I totally agree with that. And I've been feeling it. Just want to share a small little bit, thing that previous time when I was not in the practice, if I wanted to give advice to my daughter, I would keep thinking, I would say that to her. She doesn't do this right. This is not right. It's not right way. Like I keep talking to myself the whole time. And eventually when I will go to talk to her, she will not listen to me. She will not. Now I have stopped all that chattering inside me. And if I go talk to her and they are accepting it, they are talking, this communication is better. So I totally agree that if we have that hurricane inside, it will not help outside. And I see that every single day in my household. Thank you.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are, you want to say something, Sister Pallavi?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, there are really 4 types of parenting, they say. One is the authoritarian, the other is authoritative, the third is permissive, and the fourth is negligent. And so see what kind of parenting you're doing to yourself. Are you telling it what to do and that's it? Yeah. And are you giving it the support it needs? So on one hand, the support is one factor in this, and the other is the command that I'm
The
demand or command. So if there is a lot of demand without any support, yeah, then that becomes authoritarian. If there is
that means you are just imposing rules that you have to do this, you have to do that, and you are not providing any kind of support.
Yeah,
right?
to
Military
yourself.
style.
Military style, yes, that authoritarian. If you are you're giving all the support, yeah, but without any challenges that the person needs, the inner child needs, and then that becomes permissive. That doesn't help the child either. Or if you don't give it any challenges, if you don't give that inner child any support, then that becomes negligent. So what's important really that I've realized for myself, for that inner child that lives within me, is that I challenge it enough, but I also give it the right support. Like the example of pottery, when these people who know how to make pots, and when they will do it, will bring the clay, they will hollow it out, and this clay pot is getting created, getting formed, the shape is all coming together. So at the end, my understanding, what I've understood is they hit a little bit, they slap that that clay pot a little bit, but while they're doing it, they also have their hand inside.
So that's kind of support.
The support. So they're challenging it to make sure that it's strong enough, but also there is support. So am I creating the right balance of the challenge that I need to give to myself and the support that I need? Yeah. So my message, my hope is that this gives the right message to all the parents who are watching and who eventually will watch. We'll try to put this on Facebook as well and YouTube or wherever, that if you can create the right balance within yourself to parent yourself in the right way, then that's exactly what will be delivered by you to your kids, and you'll bring about the necessary changes in the way you parent, and your children will then listen to you.
That means this authoritative style is the best one, right?
Authoritative style, yes.
Yeah,
is
when
the
you
best.
give warmth, you give love, you give all the supports, but at the same time, you encourage the child, that you have to do good, you have to do the best, you have to put in all your efforts, you're encouraging, inspiring the child.
And challenging.
And challenging, yeah, most important is challenging, asking the child to take the challenges. Yeah. So that way a child will grow and become big and strong. And I remember that story, that when a boy saw caterpillar coming out of the cocoon, and felt very bad about the struggle that the caterpillar was going through, and because of pity, tried to help that caterpillar. But what happened? He tried to
Yeah, the butterfly was trying. The
caterpillar was inside
the
and it was
cocoon, yeah.
cocoon, and the butterfly was trying to come out, and he tried to help, but what
By
happened?
breaking the cocoon.
Yeah, but what happened? Although butterfly came out easily, but because butterfly did not go into that that struggle, the wings were not strong enough for the butterfly to fly, so it kind of did not survive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So his pampering.
Yeah, that was a perfect example of pampering, and this is what parents do. They try to help the child. They try to. They think that let me help. Child has to do a lot. Child is not able to sleep properly or whatever, and then they try to help. And in this process of helping, doing too much, feeding too much, spoon feeding, they kind of destroy everything.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
Kill the child's potential.
Yeah, the creativity gets destroyed actually. Child is not able to immerse the creativity inside. So that's very important.
So this is one aspect that I wanted to bring forth for everyone. But the other thing was also, Raj Yoga helps you connect to that highest source of energy, and also allows us to forge a very deep relationship with that energy, with God as our parent. So God is our parent, and to see how he parents us, each one of us.
Yeah, and one of the things that we have learned here in the practice of Raj Yoga is that, the practice of detachment. See, God is watching all of us. We all are God's children. And there is so much happening in this world. And God is our parent. So how is he taking it, everything, whatever is happening here? He's not getting upset, or he's not getting, angry with people who are doing so many wrong things. So we learn how to detach ourselves from whatever is happening around us. So some of you, I think, touched upon the concept of detachment here. So it's very important to understand the importance of detachment, and really understand this word detachment. What does it mean? Detachment does not mean that you are not concerned about your child, and you are too cold and you don't care. That is not real meaning of detachment. But detachment really means that you are not affected by whatever the child is going through. You are able to maintain your inner, peaceful state of mind. Because see, if something happens to the child, and if the parents themselves they start crying, then how are they going to help the child? They have to be a good support for their children, and that can happen only when they are detached. They have the ability to detach from their children.
Sometimes the detachment does seem like a heavy word, and it's very rare for people who have never been introduced to any spiritual practice to really understand that. And so I like to change that word and
To
use
non-attachment, maybe.
no,
That's
even better. I just like to say dependency. Yes, the dependency of the emotion. So, am I feeling happy because of somebody else's presence or happiness? That is dependency. So, Raj Yoga teaches us how to understand that there is an inner reservoir of happiness that you can tap into, and there is this highest source of energy, which is the ultimate reservoir of happiness that we can tap into anytime we want. And so we don't need others for our fulfillment, really. We are connected now to the rest of the world to give rather than dependency, in other words, wanting something from others. So parents, what happens normally, is, or even me as a parent for my own child, there would be this hope that I would support myself at the time of need. But why do I need my own support even? So there's somewhere this dependency that manifests itself, and so I will then give in to my own inner child's demands just to please it, so with the hope that tomorrow it will support me. But I don't need my own support even. I don't need the support of my inner child. I'm full, I'm complete, I'm whole. I have a source that I can go to. That source is the ultimate source, and that's God. And that's where this parenting also comes into picture, that God as the ultimate parent, how he takes care of us, how he supports us all the time, and in a detached way or in a non-attached way, or really not dependent on us. God is God irrespective of what we do. His happiness does not depend on our happiness. His state of consciousness does not depend on our state of consciousness. So if I can model that, then I can be a better parent for myself, better parent for my thoughts, beliefs, ideas, visions, and also I can be a better parent for my children.
And also, when we connect with God, we see God as an ocean of love. So, we are detached, but at the same time, it's very important to fill ourselves with love. We can give love to children only when we ourselves are full with pure love, not like, love that is contaminated. But this love that we get when we connect with God is pure love, unconditional love. So when we fill ourselves with that love, but even before we are connecting with God and filling ourselves with love, it is important for us to detach ourselves. Only when we detach, we attach to God. So we have to detach ourselves from here and attach ourselves to God, and then only that the treasure store of love kind of opens up, and then we can fill ourselves up. And when we are full, then we can give that love to everyone around us
without any dependency.
Yeah.
But also detached from what? Detached from our false identity. Detached from what we have thought ourselves to be. And what we have thought ourselves to be is really a social construct, based on what others think about us, what, people have taught, we have learned from our parents, we've learned from what we've read, what we see. Now social media is a big thing, and all that creates our identity. And that identity clearly is false. And so unless we let go of that identity, see ourselves as we really are, who we really are, and connect in that state to that higher source of energy,
that we call as soul consciousness. Some of you mentioned that how soul consciousness is helping you create a beautiful relationship with your children. So you see yourself as a soul, and you see your child also as a soul. So there is soul to soul connection. There is not body to body connection, but soul to soul connection. That is the best connection through which you can really give that love. There will be natural flow of love if there is this connection, soul to soul connection. And that's what we practice in Raj Yoga. First, we see ourselves, we identify ourselves as souls, and with that consciousness, with that awareness, we connect with the source, the supreme source, who is also soul. And I was thinking, this word in Hindi, we say Atma. So if you look at this word Atma, there is Ma at the end. So that means each one of us is a mother, actually, mother of that inner child. And we all have forgotten that identity. So our original identity, true identity, is that we all are mothers. We all are mothers, and there is inner child in each one of us that we have to really take care of. If we keep neglecting that inner child, then we will be actually doing a lot of harm, lot of damage, lot of suffering.
And God as the Atma.
And Paramatma. And Paramatma also, again, there is Ma there. So he is Param Atma. So he is the supreme mother. So he is taking care of us. We are his children. So how he is taking care of us, in the same way we have to take care of ourselves.
And so then we have to take care of others.
As well. Yeah. So with that detachment, with that love, pure love, we can nurture ourselves, and we can nurture everyone around us.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we are getting close to where we need to be. But I was just wanting to also say that sometimes we keep hearing from many people that the child is too young to understand. But if you understand this thing that you are a soul, the child is a soul, you have your own journey. The child has also come from one body, one lifetime to the next. So the child looks like it is small, is in a small body, but often you realize that the child understands way more than you think the child understands. And sometimes actually children, because they have a cleaner intellect, cleaner slate, and they understand even more than the adults. And I'm not talking about gadgets, of course, for sure. They will update your iPad. A 2-year old maybe will be able to update your iPad even better than all of us adults, in much quicker ways. I saw one time a really tiny kid. I couldn't even believe, hardly he had started walking, and he knew which buttons to press in an elevator. So I'm like, see, this is maybe he came with this information. Maybe he was a lift operator in his previous lifetime. Who knows? So, what I'm saying is that if you see the child as the soul, then rather than a body which is small, then you are able to give or deliver information that the child is hungry for. I think somebody had mentioned, or maybe we talked about that, many times when we just say do this, or yes or no, or I think I was saying for myself that when I'm parenting myself, that so instead of that, you explain to the child why this is needed, why you have to do this, and so on and so forth. The child may understand it, much more than you can imagine. And that can make all the difference. Yeah. And I think there are some questions, Sister Pallavi, if you want to bring those up. And I think we can bring all the others as well. And they are welcome to
Yes.
chip in. And
Thank you. What an eye opener it was. I have to be my parent first for to my inner child. We forget that, and I think we take the easier route. It's easier to, I think, preach than practice, and then we again blame it on the child that the child is not listening. Thank you. Shall we take the questions now?
yes, I think if you could look at the chat box and see if there are comments,
Yes.
maybe you can bring those up. I think some people have said things or asked questions, and I think we should honor each one of them.
So, one parent is asking, how do I enroll my son into these classes and the basics?
Yes, yeah, that's a good question. We are starting a new Raj Yoga meditation course for adults, actually. Like we said, first the parents have to role model, so if you don't understand, then the kids are going to have much harder time, So I think the best thing is that you enroll, you learn Raj Yoga, and then allow your kids to be in the, enroll in the class as well. So right now, this class that we do for the kids is open only to those whose parents are also practicing, because otherwise it creates tussle. That we tell child about how to live a better life, and parents are still stuck in the social media, and 3 hours on the Facebook, 4 hours on the Snapchat, 5 hours on the Instagram. Then it creates conflict for the child. They don't understand, oh, I learned this here, but my parents are doing this, which is also okay, but sometimes it creates a lot of confusion in the minds of the children. So I think when both go together, that's when the best results are seen. So next Sunday we are starting the beginners course, 4 Sundays, 4 to 5 p.m. on the Zoom. And so please put in the information in the chat box, and we will contact you and with all the other information that you need. Right? And these courses are free of cost. Okay.
And you can put your email or your phone number,
Yeah,
whatever.
they've
you
already registered in
Yeah.
that, but yes, you can put your phone number and we will be happy to contact you. 4 to 5 p.m. for 4 consecutive Sundays on Zoom, right? From next Saturday, Sunday. All right. What else?
There's this another question. My kids are young, 4 and 6. We have to get them to school by a certain time, or they're marked tardy. We have a hard time balancing, encouraging them to be self sufficient and just doing it for them so we can get out of the door on time. We also find it hard to keep our patience when the clock is ticking and they're playing. We want to be them to be kids, and of course, kids play, but at the same time, we need to keep them on their morning schedule to get ready for school. How can we balance this?
Yes, I know, Preeti ji, I think that's a very common problem which most people face, and I see that all the time. But again, I invite you to, I know this could be a painful exercise, but you go to a doctor, the doctor gives you an injection. That's not painless either, right? It gives you a lot of pain, but it helps you, right? It cures you of the disease. If there's a tumor, you get it operated, it takes 10-15 days for it to heal, and so on and so forth. So let this moment be a surgical moment for you. So pardon me, please don't get upset, but for a moment, just think, do you listen to yourself? One, I'll give you a few seconds to think about this. How much do you listen to yourself? How much do you listen
To that inner child.
to the inner child or to the inner parent? How, as you, the inner child, or you as the child, listen to your inner parent? And then how much you, as the parent, are patient with your inner child? How much harmony have you created within you? How much discipline have you been able to create inside you? I promise you, as soon as you start working on that, your kids will begin to listen to you.
Because see, kids' energy is so pure, whatever energy you give to them, they will, if you are really creating pure energy, positive energy, they will absorb that energy very quickly because they are innocent, they are fresh, they're clean slate.
Would any of the other panelists want to say something about this?
Yeah,
Sure.
I would like to answer this question. One practical thing, what we did for our daughter is we gifted her alarm clock, and we told her that if you want to go to school, you have to take your own responsibility, and no matter how much time you want to snooze and how much time you want to you want in the morning, you, based on that, you use this gift for yourself, and get ready by time. Otherwise, I'm coming to you 10 times calling and you're still in the bed. That is not going to help. You are wasting your time and my time. So that way, if you want to miss the school, you can miss for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It's up to you what you want to do. So that one technique, easy technique, you can use it for yourself and try it out. And another thing, ask the kids to make the preparation 1 day prior to the day, like packing their school bags, keeping clothes ready for tomorrow. All those things, little things, if you teach them a day prior, maybe that would help the child and the parent to go smoothly.
Just to add here, to-do list, I always tell my daughter to do the to-do list. So first, once we do it, they'll follow it. So basically what I'm saying is we will also do the to-do list, and then we'll tell her, don't forget some of the things. You put it in your desk and put what is needed, carrying or not carrying. So they follow that. The moment we do it, they'll also start following. So put the to-do list, them, ask them to follow the time slot. It will help them.
I would like to add something to it that I can relate to it. When the kids are young and you think they're not listening because, they are young. But as Mr. Agarwal and Mrs. Agarwal said, sometimes they understand more than you think, and we're not taking that time to communicate. And, we are too busy. We are just brushing things off, and we are not assertive in a manner that, we are not running and telling them to do things. We are assertive, looking in their eyes, being patient, taking that time. And I was a parent like that, but now I feel that if I had done this way, I could have, not gone through the same situations. Um, and taking the time in the morning, like waking up early a little bit and doing things before the kids get up. Maybe you have blast running around, and then you can, be more patient with them and tell them to do things and show them how to do it probably. That's what I can think of.
Thank you.
See, one thing I want to say, how children model their parents subconsciously and consciously. One thing like Sister Pallavi doesn't like to watch TV at all. Yeah, has no interest in watching TV. And somehow her son also has no interest in watching TV. From a very early age, in the beginning, yes, he used to watch, I remember. But then I think TV never turns on, I guess, in that house. I think you need to give it away to someone. It's just sitting there for no reason, catching dust. So that's what I'm saying, that what we do then gets modeled by our kids. We model it, in other words. They follow through on what we do.
Yes. And also here, in the practice of Raj Yoga, we also learn not only to create to-do list, but also to-be list.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I am going to do, with what consciousness I'll be doing that particular task, with patience, soul consciousness, adding patience to it, love to it, connecting with God and performing the task. So things like that. So that really helps. So we create timetable for performing tasks.
And I've
That
seen
helps.
at least also see like Swati, Ben and Sister Swati and Girish, Brother Girish and Avni, their children also come and sit in meditation. So when they see their parents meditating, initially they will be like, what are they doing? Why are they sitting so still? They may not like it, but eventually they understand and they come and sit and they are having a good time too. And as much as I know, their children are having a much better time at school. They are able to, like I think Mr. Shah was saying, right, about forgiveness. And so their children are able to forgive their friends at school. They're able to handle all those challenges that are coming in the school.
They are able to use the spiritual powers that they are learning, even if they fall down, they break their bones, but still, they are able to face those challenges with so much of ease, and they don't suffer, because they know that they are powerful souls.
Yeah, so they are learning as well. Yeah, good. Okay. Sister Pallavi, we can go forward.
It's okay.
One point, the powers what you mentioned, sister. So I was asking my daughter, what power you like from that class? She said power to face. So I said, why? So she was answering me, many times. Yeah, many times challenges comes, but I have that training done, so I can face anything it comes, even in the age, her age 11 years. So that's really helping her. All these powers, what they learned.
Good. But I just wanted to just say that many times children may not have gotten it through these classes, right? We're not allowing everyone to come into these classes right away for the kids. But at least what I'm trying to say is that if the parents practice the power to face, then somewhere it will spill over into the kids. So say, for example, suddenly a situation comes and the parent falls apart. The child will also learn to fall apart.
Yeah, parents cry, children also cry.
Yeah, I've seen some parents, mothers don't cry. Their children also don't cry. There's some parents, it just takes a moment, and then and then the children also, you see that,
Yeah.
so you see, then there are some parents who shout around, they throw things. Children also eventually learn to do that. In some houses, there's a lot of this gender inequality kind of thing, segregation of tasks. The husband just doesn't ever enter into the kitchen, and that's the same thing that gets conveyed to the son. And then the son doesn't do anything, and then the son gets married to a woman or girl who is also a professional, and then they end up with a clash. Man, you have to do something to help me, I'm also working full time. Yeah, or sometimes women would say, oh, the mother would have her own ways of doing things. That gets spilled over to the daughter. So then the daughter also says, you know what, I am a queen because my mother is a queen. And so I'm also not going to touch anything. Now, it is all your problem, I'm not going to do anything else. Then problems arise. So what I'm trying to really get on is that Raj Yoga teaches us how to be the best self. Be everything you can ever possibly imagine yourself to be, because that's what you are. And once you do that, all of that will spill over into the lives of your children.
Thank you. Thank you. So going forward, we have Mr. Sandeep. He says, by practicing Raj Yoga, we should be able to achieve Sahaj Yoga. We have Sister Arpita. She says, Om Shanti, through the practice of Raj Yoga meditation, it is always helping me to raise my daughter in every way. I can see a lot of changes in me and in her. The main thing I learned that to treat her as a soul. We have a beautiful relationship and also a lot of understanding and trust. I would like to give thanks to Kanishtaben and Shvetangbai for all the support and study they are giving us and helping us through the method of Raj Yoga. What best we can do for our kids and also for ourselves. Classes, please add. Brother Shvetang, you just please attend to this. Please add this email ID. Please add Hiral Patel. Okay. Then I would like information for the 4 courses, please. Preeti Patel. So will you be answering to these?
Yes, I will.
On the email IDs? On the call.
Is it okay if we call you in a little bit, maybe later in the day, on the phone numbers that you have given? Is it okay? Yeah, I'm sure they can't say anything. Yeah, so they're muted. So yes, we will call you and we'll give you more information. All right. Good.
And I think we are, yes, I think we are done with the questions and the comments.
So I think at this time we could go ahead.
With the meditation.
Yes. So I think also before the meditation, wanted to recap all the wonderful things that all the parents have shared. Once again, it was a delight for me to hear all the beautiful things that the parents who have been practicing meditation themselves have been able to incorporate in their lives, and how their children are growing so beautifully, are developing
They
so
are
beautifully.
blooming, actually.
Blooming, yeah, why not, right? And so a big congratulations to all of you. I applaud your efforts. And I think some of the things that I noted that they had said, that they are now more patient, they now allow their children to fail. It's okay to let them fail. Then to see the child as an individual soul. And then how I say is more important than what I say. So not giving too much, not giving too much of praise. The toys and etc. Sometimes we have to be a little tough, a little disciplined. So many beautiful things. I'm sure you all also noted quite a few things, and I
These
think
were really jewels, gems that you all shared.
Yeah. And so the other thing that we at the end were talking about, that we have to parent ourselves well, and we have to connect to that highest source of energy, experience him as the parent. We being the children of God, and experience how he parents us with so much of love, so much of care, so much of compassion, and yet in so much of detached way, so much of non-dependent way, yeah, that he cares for us. So if he can parent all of humanity so beautifully, then we can learn a few tips from him and parent our children in the best possible way. I see that Anita G has raised her hand, and I can unmute her. There you go. You're welcome to speak if you want.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was absolutely brilliant. I'm so sorry I'm in and out of my mistakes. I heard most of it. It was absolutely brilliant. Now, I can tell you just one thing. As a grandmother now, that when I see the grandchildren, and of course they will not take no for an answer, and of course they want to do what they want, and the parents are juggling with their multiple chores and everything. What I have seen is what I'm learning from their nanny, that she is disciplined. The night before, she sets up the things for this young kid. And in the morning, she's not listening to all, no, can I play? Can I do this? Can I do that? She says, you know what? It is time now. You've had your play. Now we have to get ready. We have to be out of the door in 5 minutes. So would you like to spend 1 minute there? And then we're out of the door. We're not getting late. We're not going to do this. We can come back with this or whatever it is. How does she discipline them? Because she has stayed disciplined from the very beginning. And the teachers, how do they discipline children? They stay the same course. And that is what is important. We parents cannot, and grandparents cannot stay the same course. And like you said, Dr. Agarwal, that why you are telling your inner self and disciplining your inner self, that is what we parents and we individuals have to learn, really have to learn from your Raja Yoga. But you are doing an amazing job. And the parents, from their experiences and their solutions, their actions, they have taught me so much. I would love to hear this whole thing again if possible. Again, thank you so much. That's all I would say.
Thank you. We honor your comments. Yeah, we appreciate and honor your comments. Thank you very much. They were very valuable. So yeah, and see, one more little thing I want to say. It's not just parenting the child, like Anita ji was saying. You're parenting the grandchildren too. So also, you see, every relationship has to be parented. Every relationship has to be. So like Kanishta, so although she's my wife, in a way, I have to parent this relationship too. When we think of parent, it's only, parent versus child, mother, father.
Because we need to understand the meaning of parenting, it's nurturing with love,
yeah,
and attachment.
The sustenance, the nurturing. So I have to parent. Now, say, for example, if I pamper her, all right, no, don't worry, I'll do everything for you, I'll clean up the snow, I'll shovel the snow, I'll do this, I'll do that. Then I'm going to destroy her life, really, because when I'm not around, she'll be of no good. And if the same thing she does to me, then that's not going to help either. So how we can live in a way that we not necessarily, not like people do in their own cocoons, but give enough space to each other to grow. And that's how, as we are parenting small children, if we can create that kind of, what I like to say, become a little scarce for each other. Why am I so available for you? Okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But then you're crippling the person. And so similarly, if we do so much for the children, we're actually crippling them. Yeah, I remember.
And sometimes they take it for granted. They will not make any efforts by themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, and then see, another thing that we learn is when we have so many people that we are trying to serve, in a way you look at the whole world as your child or children, people who we are giving courses to, people who we are helping sustain them, as they are going on with their spiritual journey. That's also in a way parenting. Again, if you see that, if you don't take it literally, it's not that I have given birth to someone whom I've given the course. And so don't misunderstand this, but helping, nurturing, comforting them, as they go through their challenges, and supporting them and sustaining them. So in a way, we are parenting all the souls. And so how to do that too, that if I am too overbearing, if I am too authoritarian, or if I'm negligent, or if I am permissive, that won't help. So am I challenging people around me enough, adequately, and at the same time, am I available to support them as and when they need?
And during this process, we also grow, Yeah, we together grow.
All right, so I think now we can take a few minutes to meditate. It's close to
Yeah, it's hardly
1
there is time.
o'clock. And so, yeah, you take us, Kanishta.
Okay, so let's together connect ourselves with that inner child that is really wanting all of us to meet with them. That inner child is desperately looking forward to this meeting. So very silently, very gently, go within and whisper to that inner child with love. I am here for you. Let that child experience the love that you are giving at this moment. And with this experience of love, also connect with that supreme source of love, the ocean of love, the Supreme Mother, and allow yourself to experience that unconditional love from God. Nurture your inner child with this love, the pure love that is free from any kind of dependency, that makes the inner child independent and free. Just allow yourself to experience God's love and allow this love to flow outwards into the world. Let everyone experience God's love. Take this moment to nurture every being on this planet with God's love, because everyone is looking for this pure love. And there is only one source, the ultimate source, that is God. Om Shanti.
Yeah, thank you for that amazing meditation experience. And thank you, Sister Pallavi, for the brilliant steering of the session. Yeah, taking us through.
Thank you. Thank you. It was such an enlightening session. And I hope everyone, each one who attended it, took something from it that they can implement in their lives. I know it takes time to unlearn what we have been doing so far and to bring about transformation. But uh, Brother Shutang, you were saying something?
That's okay. You finish and then I'll say.
Okay, good. Yes, and we will have many more sessions in the future. And I thank everyone who has been part of this session, including Sister Kanishta, Brother Shwetank, and a panel of parents.
So don't go yet. Don't go yet. Just to
Yes.
honor what Sister Pallavi was saying earlier, that she wants to celebrate her son's birthday in a very different way this time. I have a video for all of you. Okay, so it's a very short video. So I know it's going beyond one, but as you're going about your business, you can watch this, listen to this, and give me a moment. I will open this one. It's a video of Subha Murthy, who is what? She's the wife of
the Infosys, the manager of, or the founder of Infosys.
Yeah, the CEO of Infosys. Yeah.
Narayan Murthy.
Narayan Murthy. Thank you.
Sudha Murthy.
Subha or Sudha or something
Murthy.
like that. All right. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'm sure all of you got something out of it. And so we look forward to having you in the meditation course that we're starting next Sunday. And we look forward to seeing you again in the next session of parenting, whenever we do it. We haven't decided yet. So thank you, all of you. And let's give it up to for each other, really. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Om Shanti.